As a Nigerian or African footballer, how do you stand out off the field and build a name or a legacy that lasts even beyond your playing days? My name is AyoT. You might know me from EaglesTracker. I'm a media personality and an athlete brand manager. And this is a new video series that I'm calling Athlete Branding with AyoT. In this series, I'm going to be talking about personal brand, I'm going to be talking about social media, and teaching you about all the tools that are necessary and the steps that you can take to establish a solid personal brand for yourself as a professional athlete, or in this case, as a professional football player. Let's start with the basics. What is personal branding? Personal branding is about crafting a unique identity for yourself, not just as an athlete on the pitch, but also as an individual off of it. Everybody likes to say that they are a human being and not just their job. In all that we do, we like to say that we are more than what we do. So why not show people that? Why not make people understand that rather than sit back and let them make assumptions? Athlete branding, personal branding is how you want to be perceived, how you want to be seen, how you want to be interpreted, how you want to be understood by fans, by sponsors, by the country, and by the world at large. In summary, it is about your legacy. It is about showcasing your skills. It is about showcasing your culture. It is about showcasing your story. Think of legends like JJ Okocha or Samuel Eto'o or Nwankwo Kanu or Didier Drogba. They didn't just play football, they became icons of football. And I know they were amazing players. I use them as examples because they're identifiable names, but they also did work off the field and built personal brands for themselves. Take, for example, JJ Okocha. He's known for his flair and he carried that personality off the field in the different things that he did. He's done a lot of community work. He's engaged with the people on the ground. Samuel Eto'o, his leadership, his advocacy, fighting for Cameroonian football. Should we go to Nwankwo Kanu, his philanthropy? This is something that has allowed people to connect with him. Didier Drogba, we know his peace advocacy, what he did for the Ivory Coast. We know what he's done for African football, promoting the African football across the world. These players have personal brands that are just as legendary as their football careers. And you can have one too. In fact, if you are thinking to yourself, oh, but I'm not JJ Okocha, oh, I'm not that kind of star in terms of my play, you can have a personal brand that even transcends your football career. But it's not just going to happen by you sitting back and doing nothing. For football players, particularly in Nigeria and in Africa, your personal brand can be game changing. It is what is going to set you apart from the hundreds, from the thousands of different footballers that also exist within the context of the Nigeria or whatever African country you come from. It is what is going to open you up to endorsement opportunities. Believe me, you can be a player playing in a good level, playing in the Super Eagles, but if you don't have a personal brand, endorsement opportunities don't come. Your personal brand is also what is going to help you to enhance fan loyalty. You wonder why some players, when there's any kind of negative news about them, they have hundreds, thousands of fans defending them. And some players, when there's negative news, nobody's defending them. In fact, people are piling on it. Personal brand. You need to enhance that fan loyalty. And in fact, in some cases, for certain players, depending on the level that you're playing, your personal brand can even influence the longevity of your career. Imagine you're not a big name football player. You don't play at the highest level, but you have a huge personal brand. You can sell jerseys, you can bring attention towards a club. Believe me, that personal brand can be the reason why certain clubs want you, can be the reason why certain clubs keep you, and can even be the reason why certain clubs, buy you. I'm talking about certain higher clubs buy you because they know that they can gain a lot from your personal brand. For example, if we look at, let's say we go to Korea, when a club buys a Son Heung-min or a Kim Min-jae, they know the kind of following that they are going to get from that country. For example, let's look at Victor Osimhen. When Galatasaray buys Victor Osimhen, they know that Victor Osimhen has a huge following, he has a huge personal brand, and they know that they are going to reap the benefits in Galatasaray. Whether it be from merchandise sales, whether it be from social media interactions, they know. They know how Nigerians are going to flock. That's why once the transfer was about to happen, they started tweeting in pidgin. They started trying to connect to the Nigerian audience. That is the power of having a strong personal brand and connecting with people, enhancing fan loyalty. It can also catapult you into the spotlight if you are not there already. It can help you secure endorsements and ensure that your influence lasts long after your playing days. You don't just want to play football and the day you stop playing football, all of a sudden you become irrelevant in society or you become a nobody. All of a sudden your phone stops ringing. People that looked up to you don't even care about you again. Your personal brand is one thing that can really ensure that your legacy lasts long after your playing days. But remember, personal branding is not all about showing off. Trust me, we already know you're rich. We already know that you live a lifestyle that we cannot afford. It's not about showing off and about tensioning people or about pressing our necks. No, it is about genuine connection. It is about sharing your journey, sharing your roots, and also important, it is about giving back to and connecting with the community. Your brand should be a reflection of whatever it is that actually makes you unique as a person, as a footballer. It is about telling your story in a way that really resonates with people. Again, in a Nigerian context, I use Victor Osimhen a lot because he is the biggest brand that we have currently of all the footballers in, out of Nigeria. You ask people about Victor Osimhen's story, they connect with it. The boy that grew up in Olushosu. And you see, even after he won his CAF African Player of the Year award in 2023, what did he do? He took the award back to the roots, back to the place that he came from. He acknowledged all those people. He showed them that, see, I came from here. I did it. You guys can too. Don't you think that all the people there are going to love and cherish and look up to him? It is about connecting, giving back to your community. And when I say giving back, it doesn't even always have to be a monetary thing of giving back. Just like the gesture that Victor made. Just going there and showing them and inspiring them and motivating them and talking to them. That is a way of giving back. And those actions definitely enhance your personal brand and connect with the people. It helps your story to resonate more and more and more. So, how do you start? You start by knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what legacy you want to leave in football, in Nigeria, in Africa, and beyond. Every post, every video, every interaction that you're making on social media should help to tell this story authentically. A lot of people, a lot of footballers make some posts fairly recklessly, fairly carelessly. And I challenge you and I say, before you make a post, before you post something, before you reply to that comment that you want to, reply to, think of your legacy. Think of what identity you want to have. When you're not, in the room and they're asking people about you, what do you want them to say? When they ask fans about you, what kind of, perception do you want them to have of you? Now, that post you're about to make, that reply you're about to send, does it work for or does it work against that identity you're trying to build? Does it work for or does it work against that legacy, that perception that you want people to have? If it works for, go ahead. If it works against, then maybe you should do a double take and a rethink about putting it out there. Because it's the internet. We live in this digital age. Once you post it, believe me, you can never take it back. I don't care whether you delete it. I don't care whether you make another statement. When you put it out there, you cannot take it back. So always think of the post before you make any action. Does it work for or against the brand that you want to build, the identity that you want to have? Consistency in your message and presence is very, very key. Now, important thing to note is that personal branding is a marathon and not a sprint. It doesn't just happen like that. your personal brand grows with you. Starting from today, think about how you want your name to resonate in Nigeria. Think about how you want your name to resonate in Africa. Think about how you want your name to resonate on the global stage. Consider how you want to be known, not just for your skills on the field, but for the person that you are. Then now use your platforms, use your social media pages to amplify your story, to amplify your passion, to amplify your vision. Well, in this new content series, I'm going to be talking to you guys multiple times a week about personal branding, about social media use for athletes. So make sure you're following, make sure you have your notifications turned on, and you never miss a video. If you learned something from this one, please leave a comment, share this video. And if you're an athlete, if you're an athlete manager, if you're a brand manager and you would like to work with me, please feel free to connect with me. Send a DM on Instagram to either at AyoT1 or at EaglesTracker NG. And let's make things happen. Thank you very much.